Hi, my name is Roger Schluter. This video today is really on SBA Microloan Program, and I'm thinking a lot of you people probably haven't heard of it. It is actually not through the banks. The microloan program provides up to $50,000 to help for-profit and certain non-for-profit child care centers. It helps them for startup and expansion. Um, the SBA states that the average microloan is about $13,000. And as I said, microloans are not done by banks. This is one of the few SBA loans where banks are not involved. To get this loan, you must go through a special intermediary lender. And those intermediary lenders, which are nonprofit, community-based organizations, those organizations are supposed to offer management and technical assistance also. These intermediary administer the microloan program for eligible borrowers. The microloan is one that's since it's it's up to $50,000. And it can be any amount less than that. It is a pretty tough loan to make money on. I know earlier in my career there was a company that was a statewide company that did a certain type of SBA loan, and they were doing microloans and they couldn't make any money at it. And this company makes money off everything they do, even though they're not for profit. They still are a very, very good lender. So anyway, it's kind of tough. You have to do a lot of loans, and you do have to really, I guess, chase down the money, especially if people won't pay. The intermediary lender sets its own lending and credit requirements. Usually collateral will be required. A personal guarantee from the business owner is always required. The intermediary, they're very small in number. Actually, there's only one in St. Louis. And, although it has several satellite locations, I think it even has some satellite locations that might even be in neighboring states. So, they're a little bit bigger than just in St. Louis, but there's no other ones that I know of. So anyway, hopefully there's one in your area. If you really need to know, what I would do is call my local SBA office and say, hey, I'm looking into the SBA microloan program. Are there any microloan lenders or intermediary lenders that are around here? And they should be able to hook you up. Now, I don't know if you really have to be local. I know there was one earlier years ago, there was one out of California that was marketing St. Louis area. And the thing that they were doing, though, is they were getting like I might be wrong on this, but they were getting something like a $2,000, maybe it wasn't that big. Maybe it was only like 500 or something, but it was pretty large, just a fee for looking at it. And it was just a non-refundable fee for looking at it. And we all looked at that as that they're making money off the fees. They don't even have to make money off the loans. So I'm not sure what happened. I mean, SBA might have, talked to them and said, hey, we don't like that. But anyway, they kind of set their own rules and they kind of set their own prices. So anyway, the proceeds cannot be used to pay existing debt or to buy real estate. It can be used for almost anything else. It can be used for working capital. It can be used for inventory, supplies, furniture, fixtures, machinery, equipment. And that really kind of runs the gambit. Like I said, the requirements kind of vary. You got to check with the lender, with the intermediary lender in your area, to see what what their requirements are. I do know repayment terms, they depend on the project, but the maximum term is 6 years. Interest rates vary between intermediaries. That's a hard one to say. But usually it's, the interest rate runs between 8% and 13%. Now, when you look at that, you're going, whoa, rates are really low right now. Well, I don't know if that was rates that were put in earlier or not. Usually when SBA puts a rate on their website, they pretty much stick to it. So I'm not sure. They may be lower than that now. But, really, these intermediaries are given, they're trying to give them some sort of incentive for lending on these small amounts. There isn't any bank that's going to lend under 50,000. And really, most banks will lend under 100,000. So, they are doing a service, even though, they may charge higher rates. I know they get their money in a pretty low rate. SBA says that existing borrower can create an account in SBA's, one of their websites. It's a capital access financial system. And usually the only people that can get in there are usually banks and CDCs, certified development companies, do 504 loans. It is an internet site, and you can go on there to monitor their loan status. I don't know how true that is. Intermediaries, where do they get their money? I'm sure that's come to you. They're saying, well, they're going to make some money, but where do they get their money? And really, they're not-for-profits. They're community-based not-for-profits, so they're not going to have a huge amount. SBA actually lends them the funds. They lend them the funds at pretty low rates, and then they go ahead and relend those funds. The rate that they pay is like a 5-year treasury, and then I think they do get discounts on that also. Of course, right now the 5-year treasury is really, really, really low, so they might have to just have that rate. I know they can't borrow for 0 or less than 0. Maybe it's less than 0. But anyway, it's a good program. The intermediaries can really vary, since they have to be not-for-profit. You're going to get some really good ones, and then you're going to get some that may not be as good. So that's the only thing that, when you go through banks, you at least know banks are regulated. Most banks know how to make loans. Most banks know how to help borrowers. So it's kind of different. But here you're dependent on not-for-profits who may not have that really specialty lending that you only really get from banks. But it is a good program, and it's one of the only programs that's going to lend, 50,000 or less. Nobody else is really going to do it. I mean, you might get your neighbor down the street, maybe one of your relatives, maybe the leg breaker down the way, but 50,000 or less, you're really not going to get any reputable bank or lender really to do that, except for these intermediaries who do the SBA microloan program for SBA. I have known a couple people that have used the intermediary that's in St. Louis, and they seem to be satisfied with it. I haven't really had a whole lot to do with them personally, so I really can't really vouch for them. But anyway, if you like this kind of content where we talk about loans and lending, especially commercial loans and commercial lending, please go ahead and subscribe, and then ring that notification bell so that you'll get future videos. I'll do about 2 a week. And really, if you took anything away and you got any value out of this, then I hope you would hit the like button. So anyway, thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.